That's pretty good. All right. Hopefully this is the beginning of an epic poker vlog with this man. Damn, you look good. This lighting is favoring you in a crazy way right now.
It's working for me.
All right, I'm going to tell you so much more about him. God damn it. All right. To be continued. To be continued. It's about, give or take, 1 billion degrees out. But I'm bringing a hoodie because a poker room, in more ways than one, can be quite chilly. I was going for like a metaphor, you know, like, oh, it's too much air conditioning and I have no money or friends. It's 1:29 and I'm waiting on the world's promptest man to arrive at 1:30. All right, let's get in.
We're riding in style.
Good morning. That dog barks. Sunday. Okay, I don't even really get a chance to get settled in before I pick up a suited ace and get involved in a very fun little hand. But first, a little backstory, a little history on one of the players, whom I shall call the gentleman gambler, because he is, in fact, quite the gentleman, and my God, does he love to gamble. It's like this. He can play great. Oh, he can, when he feels like it. But quite often, he simply feels like shoving it all in, blind, pre-flop, just to see who has the guts to call him. This gambler, this gentleman gambler, can turn a lazy, casual 1-2 game into a nerve-wracking, fantastic, wonderful adventure. So, the regular playbook pretty much goes out the window. And many hands will take on a different value when the gentleman gambler is at your table. A single pair hand that is often quite marginal can get you paid big time if you read the situation right and you know he's just trying to push you around. Also, I am never, well, I don't like to say never, I am rarely going to slow play the gentleman gambler. If I have something strong, I'm going to pile it in because he is almost always going to call, even if he's getting the worst of it, because he just gets a kick out of snapping off a premium hand with his 8-3 when a random 8 falls on the river and he backs into some kind of crazy trips. Oh no, he likes that. He gets a kick out of it, throw over his hand, chuckle, and rake in a huge pot. Back to this little ace-7 suited hand. I'm in the small blind. The gentleman gambler, over on the button, he makes it 20 to go, but I'm not even sure if he's looked at his cards, so I'm just going to call here. My strategy is to make some sort of decent hand, like a top pair, let him take the lead and hopefully pile it in on a bluff. I call the 20, we get one more player, so 3 of us are going to see the flop. Flop comes ace, jack, 8 with 1 spade. Not bad for my exact holding. But I'm never leading out here. I check and flow, the other player checks, and the gentleman gambler checks it back. The turn brings the queen and puts 2 diamonds out there, so this board just got way more connected. Ace, jack, queen, 8, 2 diamonds, very connected board. Now there is a case to be made for a donk lead here. I don't want to give the player between me and the gentleman gambler a free look at a river, but I'm more inclined to check, play and flow, and then check raise the gentleman gambler when he takes a stab at the pot. I check, player in between checks, and the gentleman gambler surprises me just a bit by checking it back. At this point, I really don't think either of the players have anything. I'm expecting my top pair hand to be good and could possibly lead out on the river until an 8 falls, pairing the board. Now this is the exact type of card that the gentleman gambler just might pounce on. So I check one more time. The other player checks, and the gambler, he bets out for 50. Honestly, I don't think about it for too long because there are about, 1 million bluffs in his range. Not a ton of value hands that he's played this way. I don't see any reason to raise, so I just call. The other player gets out of the way. The gentleman gambler shows his cards to his neighbor, chuckles a bit, and tosses them into the muck. And just like that, I take down a solid $150 pot to start the session. Fantastic. Now, maybe one orbit later, I've got king 10 in the straddle. It gets folded all the way around to the gentleman gambler on the button, who puts in 25 blind. It's folded back to me, and now I have a decision to make. I can raise here with my king 10, which is a pretty solid hand against a blind raise, but If I raise this particular player, this gambler, he's guaranteed to shove all in pre-flop. And that means I'm looking to take my king 10 on a flip versus a blind hand for my entire stack, which is at this point about $300. But I'm not the gambler, he is. I don't feel like playing into his game quite yet, so I play it safe. I call, heads up, to a flop that we smash. King, Jack, 10. Now here's the deal. Before the flop comes out, the gentleman gambler bets 35 blind. So I check. His blind $35 pre-flop bet stands. And now it's decision time. Do I just call the $35? I really don't think so. If he has a random queen, queen 3, queen 2, we got to pile it in now. We got to pile it in when we're way ahead and he's not getting the best of it. If he doesn't have a queen, but he actually has one pair, well, any ace or queen or 9 is going to scare him off. I've flopped 2 pair against a wild and crazy player. We got to pile it in now. So the 35 to me, I raise all in. He doesn't think about it too long before he folds. Take down another $125 pot. A great start to the day. I got Jack 10 suited. I'm feeling it at this point. Things are going my way. I'm winning. I'm a little overconfident. Perhaps we shall see. Oh, I'm overconfident. Yeah, we're going to see. Okay, the end of the gun makes it 5. I min click it back. I bump it up to 10. Fold, fold, fold. We get 2 callers from the big blind, under the gun. 3 of us are going to see the flop. At least I'm in position. Okay, flop comes 10, 3, 3. They both check it to me. Not bad. Top pair, decent kicker. They both checked it to me. I announce a bet of $10. Then I say this. I was hoping just saying it would get 2 folds, but since that didn't happen.
No. It'll make you do the work.
All right, I'll actually put it out there. The small blind calls, under the gun folds. 2 of us are going to see a turn. Pot's brewing, about 50 bucks in it now. A 4 of clubs lands on the turn. No help for me, but probably no help for him. He checks it. At this point, I slow down. I check it back. A little pot control seems to be in order here. Then a queen lands on the river, and now the small blind leads for 30. Uh-oh. What to do? What to do? I mean, I beat no value hands, and there was no draw on that flop of 10-3-3, 4 in the turn. It seems obvious now, hindsight, that he didn't want to miss value on the river, so he takes a donk lead for 30. But I was feeling so cocky that I talked myself into believing that he was trying to bluff me. And I'm like, hey, I'm the guy at the table who's running over the table. I'm the guy doing all the winning. Don't try to bluff me, mister. I'm going to pay you off. Sure enough, he had ace-3, slow played it on the flop, checked the turn, set me up for a little river payoff bet. Nice hand, sir. Well played. And now, like my good friend Bradley Noel might say, the pot is going the wrong way. Bradley Noel is Sublime. 90s reference. Sublime. Ska. Punk. Long Beach band. They're good.
What that?
Oh, shoot. Hang on. Can I see that? Since I've lost. Can I see that ace-3? Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Then, unfortunately, the gentleman gambler gets up just as I pick up a fuck ton of premium hands, starting with the ace-king of clubs. My good friend David, sitting on my direct right, he opens up the pot for 4. I jack it all the way up to 8. It gets folded all the way around to him. He puts in 16, and I'm like, hey, you want to just put in 20 each, check it down? Don't want to play a massive heads-up pot against my friend. You want to play this for real, or you want to put in 20 and check it down? But we can play for real if you want.
Put in 20 and check it down.
All right. He's like, sure, fine. His queens hold. My ace-king loses. That's okay, because the very next hand, I pick up ace-ace. I make it 8. And no one calls. That's okay, because the very next hand, I pick up ace-king again. I make it 8. No one calls. Oh, come on!
No. Crazy.
That's okay, because the very, very next hand, I pick up ace-king of clubs. Again, this is 4 hands in a row. I've got the timestamp on my camera here. I'm looking at it, and I'm putting the times on here. Ace-king of clubs, I'm in the big blind at this point. So when the cutoff raises to 6, I don't want to scare everybody off. So I just call. I see a great flop, king 8-8. I check, he bets 12. I call on the turn. I check again. Hopefully he's going to keep betting. He doesn't. He slows down. On the river, I lead out for 20, but he folds. I lose $20 with ace king of clubs. I win $20 with ace king of clubs. I get no action on the other two premiums, and I basically break even. Exciting stuff. Let's get some air. We're at the Lucky Lady. We're having a good time. Well, are we having a good time?
Yeah. I've had better times.
It's funny about poker. The person who's winning is like, I'm having a good time.
Having a great time. Yeah.
And the person who's a tiny bit losing is like, I've had better times.
I've had better times. But,
Yeah.
No, it's a beautiful day. Some good
Even though
poker.
we're inside.
Fantastic. It's a beautiful day to be inside.
A very cool hand that you played with. Pocket aces came up, and I want to, if you don't mind, have you talk to us about that.
I had pocket aces. Raised it up to 10. It's a 1-2 game, so, that's significant.
Good race.
And 3 callers.
The board got scarier and scarier.
The board got scarier and scarier.
flushes.
Straights, flushes, full house possibility. And on the last, on the river, guy bet 20. And I looked at my aces and I was like, what can I beat here? There's so much that could beat me. So I turned him over and I dropped him down.
It was an excellent fold. Most people, in my opinion, are going to pay off that river.
I was tempted because, you got pocket aces, but I knew I was beaten. We didn't see the villain's card, so who the hell knows?
Yeah, usually you're the villain. Okay, well, we come back inside for some more poker. Ooh, check out this montage of hearts. I was getting hammered with hearts. I have my own royal flush here. I have an ace, I don't remember, ace king suited, queen 10 suited, ace jack suited, lots of suited hearts. Unfortunately, you can't put them all together. Nothing very exciting happens, but I keep winning more than I'm losing for an overall wonderful session. Let's go get some dinner. I'm sure I have already mentioned all of this, but this is one of my very best friends ever, David Hayter, and I just want to thank him for playing and hanging on the vlog. And he's actually very famous, and I've never mentioned it before. You're famous for being two things, and this is kind of amazing. You're famous for both being the guy who wrote X-Men and the guy who's the voice of Solid Snake.
That's correct.
In Metal Gear Solid.
That's right. I'm in Metal Gear. And I did write X-Men.
Sophie's choice question is, if you could only be one of those guys, the guy who wrote the movies or the guy who voiced one of the most popular video games of all time and one of the most popular comic book movies of all time, if you could only have one of those, which is it?
That is a good question.
Is that not asked all the time?
Not once. It's true. I have two things that make me famous.
You have two amazing things that make you famous.
And what I would take is X-Men, writing the movies. I mean,
that's the right answer.
I'd be so bereft without Snake and the opportunity to play that, and the fans but it's just screenwriting is a better career.
And you're a wordsmith.
I'm a bit of a wordsmith.
And to be able to have created and crafted something that resonates in the written world, that's exciting.
Well, thank you.